Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because today's video is going to be my updated record collection. I've been dying to make this video for literally months, and every time I thought that I was ready to film it, I ended up buying another record, and then I was like, oh, I should just wait to film it because I kept buying records. I couldn't stop. And I'm probably going to continue to buy records because there are some really good albums coming out soon. But you know what? I've accumulated quite a lot of records that it's time to do an updated video. I'm looking at the stacks sitting around me and it's a little ridiculous for me, at least. I've accumulated almost 40 records since my first video I made about my collection. So if you have not seen that video, I will make sure to link it up above in the cards, because in this video I'm only going to be showing the new records that I've added to my collection. So I do have a lot of like modern records, but I also have a lot of vintage records that I either purchased or I got from my family. So let's just get started. Okay, so this is in no particular order, but the first record I'm going to share with you guys is 5 Sauce 5 by 5 Seconds of Summer. So this is their newest album and I'm obsessed with it. I honestly think it's my favorite 5 Seconds of Summer album. I literally love it so much. And I have the Urban Outfitters Candy Floss pressing. Are you kidding me? This is stunning. This is everything to me. I knew that if I was going to get a vinyl of 5 Sauce 5, it would have to be this one, because this isn't the deluxe one. It doesn't have the extra 5 songs on it that are on the deluxe edition. But when I bought this, there was no deluxe vinyl, so I knew that if I was going to buy the vinyl that didn't include like 5 of my favorite songs off the album, it would have to be this gorgeous pressing. I needed it. It matches the vibes of the album just so perfectly, and it has become one of my favorite pressings in my collection, and I have a lot of new fun pressings to share with you guys today, but I'm absolutely obsessed with this one. This album is literally so good, and I expect nothing less from 5 Sauce, but my goodness, I think this is my favorite from them. So going off only the songs that are actually on this vinyl and not the like 5 songs that aren't on here, I don't know which ones are my favorite. I really love Blender. That's always been a favorite of mine. I've been really attached to Bad Omens recently. I've been listening to that one a lot. And Best Friends. Those are the ones that I've been kind of gravitating towards recently, especially Bad Omens. I don't really know why, but that one has a chokehold on me at the moment. Okay, so kind of in the same vein as that, I have Luke Hemmings' solo album, When Facing the Things We Turn Away From. So obviously Luke Hemmings is a member of 5 Seconds of Summer, and I honestly, when this album came out, I didn't really listen to it that much. I listened to a few songs like Starting Line, which was the lead single I believe off of the album. For some reason I just like didn't get into the full album, and then slowly, like over time, I would listen to it more and I would add more songs to my favorites playlist on Spotify. But then I went to Oregon with my family and we went to Walmart one night and I was looking through their vinyl section and they had this vinyl there, and I freaked out because I had never seen it before, and I was like, okay, if I'm going to get this album, like, it's going to be now. So I literally sat there in the Walmart, brought up YouTube on my phone and listened to bits of each song to see if it was worth it for me to get it, and in the end it was worth it. I bought it and now I'm obsessed with this album. I love it so much. It's such a vibe, it's so much fun, and it's like a comfort album now. I don't know why, but I'm just obsessed with it. I just had the standard black pressing, which honestly I'm not mad about. I know there's like a blue pressing, but I think the black obviously works with this album really well. My favorites on this one change all of the time. I really like Saigon. Baby Blue, I'm obsessed with. That's a constant favorite. I think right now my favorite might be Slip Away. That one hits me where it hurts. It really does. And I honestly think that this album was like made to be heard on vinyl. It is so beautiful. Okay, so now we're gonna start the little mini One Direction section. So I've come into possession of some of the solo music, possibly an actual One Direction vinyl, and I think I said in my last record video that I try not to have like too many duplicates of CDs and vinyl. I've definitely broken that rule. So the first 2 I bought with Christmas money because I asked for them for Christmas. It didn't end up getting them, and so I just ordered them myself with Christmas money because I knew I needed to have these. So the first one is Flicker by Niall Horan. Yes. Thank God. So this is just the standard black pressing. And funny story about this record, I actually owned Flicker back in the day when I first started collecting records. I bought it at Barnes & Noble, but back then I had a suitcase player because update, I now have an Audio-Technica and I'm obsessed with it. So back then I had the suitcase player. I didn't know that, you know, it wasn't a very good player. So when I bought this, the songs skipped. And so I returned it not knowing that it was an issue with the player, not the record. So then I ended up buying another copy. It did the same thing, so I returned it again. So at one point I did own this record. but I returned it because I was naive. I did not know. I did not know. And I've been kicking myself in the butt ever since because I've never seen this in stores again because it did come out like in 2017. So when I saw on Grooveyard Records, which is a store in Penticton, when I saw that they had this in stock, I was like, okay, I need it. I absolutely need this album. I did talk about this in my CD collection. I will link that up above in the cards as well. So I'm not going to talk about this album too much, but my absolute favorite song off this one is This Town. It has always been This Town. I have such a special place in my heart for that song because it was his first single. Listening to this record on vinyl on like a rainy day, dramatically staring out the window is like my favorite thing to do because I've definitely done it. It's just, the vibe. The vibe is immaculate. This next one is one of my favorite pressings that I now own. So it's Faith in the Future by Louis Tomlinson. This is his brand new album that came out a couple months ago. I am obsessed with this album. I love it even more than Walls, which I didn't know was possible. I'm just so obsessed with it. But I saw this pressing again on that same website and I knew that I needed to have it. I had to have it, you know? So I have the indie exclusive black and red splatter. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is so stunning and it looks so cool when it's spinning around and it matches the vibes of the album just so well. It screams Louis to me, you know? Like, it just screams Louis. Wow. I'm still not over it and I've had it for like over a month now, I think. Wow. That's all I can say. Just wow. I have so many favorites off this one. I really love Written All Over Your Face. Out of My System, Silver Tongues, That's the Way Love Goes, Angels Fly. This whole album is perfection. Also, when I was out one day with my family, I picked up Harry Styles' first album. I also own this on CD. Had no intentions of owning it on vinyl, but then I saw it and I imagined in my head what it would sound like on vinyl and I was like, oh, I need it. So I forked over the money and I bought it. Standard black pressing. I'm obsessed with this album. I also talked about this in my CD collection, but my favorite song off this one, I think right now, would be Two Ghosts or Sweet Creature. It's such a good album. It's one of my favorites by him. The vibe of it, it's beautiful. Like, look at that cover. It's everything to me. So I am really happy to have this on vinyl now because it's another album that I feel like is just meant to be heard on vinyl. Okay, so the last one for this little One Direction section, 4 by One Direction. This is another record that I never thought that I would own. Not only because I have it on CD, so I don't need it on vinyl, but also because I have just never seen this in person. So I got this at Barnes & Noble. I was there looking for a different record, saw this one instead, and I was like, oh, I think I need to have it because I think this might be my favorite One Direction album. It changes all the time because like I have such strong favorites from each one, but I cannot believe that I own this. Like, I'm still in shock and I've had it for a few weeks now. I have 4 by One Direction. Like, did they repress it or something? Like, did they just like randomly release a whole bunch? Because I have never seen this and all of a sudden it's at Barnes & Noble. I saw it on the Grooveyard website. Like, I don't know, but I'm gonna take it because I'm so happy to have this in my collection. I listened to it and it was a fun vibe. I feel like it's been a long time since I've listened to like a One Direction album just all the way through instead of just like random songs here and there, and it was so much fun. I feel like it just filled my soul with all the happiness. I think my favorite off this one is Night Changes. I just remember the music video coming out for that one and it was my everything. I fangirled so hard. So I really love this album. I'm so happy and grateful to own it, and it is just the standard black pressing. I own 4 by One Direction on vinyl. What is life? I'm so happy. Okay, so I've also grown my Taylor Swift collection a little bit. There is still one Taylor Swift record I think that I need to get, but I have a whole bunch of new ones and I'm very excited to share them with you. So the first one I got for Christmas and it is Fearless Taylor's version. So I knew that I wanted this one because I have the stolen version on CD. So it's like, if I'm going to buy Taylor's version, I would want it to be the vinyl so that I can have it in like a different format kind of thing. So I was so excited to get this for Christmas. I believe this is just like the standard pressing. It's like the kind of gold color. So I did talk about this album again in my CD collection. So I'm just going to talk about the vault tracks, and I think my favorite is Mr. Perfectly Fine and Is We Were Happy a vault track? It is, isn't it? Let me take this out. Yeah, We Were Happy is a vault track. Why was that a vault track? I don't know, but it is stunning. This is a 3 LP, which is just insane to me. I still want to get Red. I don't have Red, so that's the one that I am missing, and that has 4 LPs in it. wild. But I'm obsessed with this one, so happy to have it in my collection. This next one is another one that I am just so obsessed with, and it is Lover. So I started listening to this album I think over the summer last year, and it's mainly because of the Summer I Turned Pretty TV show, because they used quite a few Lover songs in their soundtrack, and I just started listening to them, and that led me to listening to the full album, and here we are. I own the vinyl. I thought that this was like a Target exclusive, but I guess it's not. I think this is just the only pressing that they have of this album, but it is the pink one with the blue one, which I can show you. So it's just the pink and the blue, and it's so stunning, matches the vibe of the album so well. I think right now one of my favorites off of this one is Cornelia Street and Death by a Thousand Cuts. This album just has a lot of great songs on it. I don't love every song, but I love most of them, so it's good enough for me. I'm just so happy to own this one, and I need to listen to it again because I feel like I haven't listened to it in a while, and I keep meaning to, but then I keep getting new records that I want to spin instead. But maybe I'll listen to this one soon because it is so much fun. Okay, and then of course we have Evermore by Taylor Swift. I also bought this on the same Oregon trip that I bought Luke Hemmings' vinyl, I believe. I do have the Target exclusive edition, so it is red. I really wanted the green pressing of this one, but I've never seen it in person, so when I saw this one I just grabbed it because I didn't know if I would see it again. So I do have the red one, although I think the green one matches the vibes of the album a little bit better, but this is still stunning in its own right. But I think currently my favorite song off this one is Tolerate It. Hits me right in the feels, it's so good. And then lastly, for Miss Taylor Swift, I obviously have Midnight. So I do just have the standard blue, is it called like Moonstone Blue? I think it's called Moonstone Blue, but it's very pretty. And honestly, I did not love this album at first. It did take me quite a few listens to become obsessed with it. I think I was just expecting like a different vibe from it than what it is, but that's okay. My current favorites of this one, I think, is Snow on the Beach and Karma. Maybe also Sweet Nothing. My initial favorite though was Labyrinth, and that's still also a favorite. I just haven't listened to that one a little bit, but I adore this album. It's so good. Again, not one of my favorites of hers, but still very, very good. So the newest record to my collection is Fall Out Boy, American Beauty, American Psycho. This was one of my favorite albums when I was like in grade 9, because I think that's when this album came out, and I don't listen to it very often. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I love Fall Out Boy to pieces, but every time a song of theirs comes on shuffle, I skip it. I have no explanation why, because when I don't skip it and I listen to it, I have the time of my life. So I figured I'm gonna buy the record, and maybe that will make me listen to it more. I don't know. I feel like I might be entering back into a Fall Out Boy era, especially with their new album coming out. But I saw this at Barnes & Noble, again, when I was buying a different record, and I've never seen this before in person. So I decided to get it, and I thought this was just a standard black pressing. Boy, was I wrong. It is a stunning light blue marble. It's very similar to Midnight's, but this one is like a bit more opaque than that one is. It's so beautiful. So hard for me to pick a favorite off of this album because they're all so good, but I think like a constant favorite for me is Uma Thurman or Favorite Record. Very good. I do need to listen to Fall Out Boy more, and if I ever see Mania on vinyl, I'm definitely going to be buying that one because those are my two favorite Fall Out Boy albums. So really happy to have this one. I have not listened to it yet because I just got it the other day. So I think the next time I listen to records, I will put this one on because it's gonna be so good. The next record I have is Sonder by Dermot Kennedy. This record came out last year and I'm obsessed with it. It is on the standard white, which, you know what, I love a good white pressing. I've got two of them and they never disappoint. They're so pretty, and like with the purple in the middle, gorgeous. I don't know what my favorite is though. I lied. I do know my favorite. It's Better Days. I love Better Days so much. And then I have I Blame the World by Sasha Alex Sloan. I love this album so much. I just have it on the standard black. Okay, I think my favorites off of this one are Adult because it's so damn relatable and I wish that it wasn't. And maybe I Hate Myself. I think those are the ones that I tend to gravitate towards the most. But this one is also a really fun vibe on vinyl. I love it. The next one is Not in Chronological Order by Julia Michaels. Again, just standard black. I love Julia Michaels, love her voice, love her songwriting. Sometimes I will just find out that she's written a song that I love and I had no idea. Like, I didn't know that she wrote Heavy by Linkin Park, and that's like one of my favorite Linkin Park songs. So she is obviously a songwriting genius. I think my favorites right now from this one is Love is Weird, Little Did I Know, and Wrapped Around. So this is a little bit awkward, but the next one is Dangerous Levels of Introspection Vision by JP Sachs, and it's a little bit awkward because him and Julia Michaels used to date and then they broke up last year, so that's devastating. But I love this album. It's really good. I got this like really cheap on Amazon, and I don't know why it was so cheap, but it was. But this one has a lot of great songs on it. If the World Was Ending, featuring Julia Michaels, it's a favorite. For Emily, Line by Line, A Little Bit Yours. It is such an emotional album. Again, just standard black. It's really, really good. Okay, so then I have a couple of soundtracks before we get into one of my more vintage records. So the first one is the one that I kept going to Barnes & Noble for and finding other things. And that is Dear Evan Hansen, the original Broadway cast recording. So I really love Dear Evan Hansen. I love the music from it. My favorite song off of this one has been, and probably always will be, Waving Through a Window. That song just, it makes me emotional. It really, really does. But I love Ben Platt's voice. I love these songs, so I'm really happy to have this one on vinyl. It's my only like true like musical one that's like not Disney on vinyl, so I'm obsessed with it. The next one is a picture disc, and it is the Wanda Vision soundtrack. So this is one I don't actually listen to that often, and it's one that came in like this sleeve, but I just like put it in an inner sleeve on the outside. So the other side is Agatha, but the front side is Vision and Wanda. Obviously it's got Agatha all along on it, but I really love like all the theme song ones. It's just fun to occasionally, you know, throw on, but it is one that I don't listen to very often. The last soundtrack-esque album that I have is Disney Volumes 1 and 2 Ultimate Hit. This was a Target vinyl, so it has a blue kind of like marbled pressing, and then there's another one, and it's kind of like a Mike Wazowski green, if I could get it out. Like, it's a very, very opaque green color. But I thought these were really fun for Disney records. I don't have any other records like these, but there's a lot of really great Disney songs on here. Off the top of my head, because I don't really feel like pulling this out, I think my favorites are Almost There from Princess and the Frog and I See the Light from Tangled. Those are like two of my favorite songs of all time. Oh, also the Jessie song, When Somebody Loved Me. That's what it's called. I love that song, and it is so sad. So this one's a lot of fun to just throw on. You know, it's got songs like Bare Necessity on it, You've Got a Friend in Me. It's a fun time. Okay, so now for the vintage ones, which I think I can get through a lot faster because a lot of them I haven't actually listened to. So first I have two 7-inches because I went to a record and bookstore that I love, and they're actually closing down, so everything was like 75% off, I think. So I got these for super cheap, but the first one I have is this one. It's Joan Jett. So on one side it's I Love Rock and Roll, and the other side is You Don't Know What You've Got. So I'm not like a huge Joan Jett fan or anything. I haven't really listened to her music, but I obviously do know I Love Rock and Roll, and like I said, this was like really cheap. I think it was like $1 or like 50 cents. Like it was extremely cheap, and so I was like, well, because I love rock and roll, why not get it? I want to get more 7-inches. They are so cute. So like, look how cute that is. It's so tiny. I haven't actually listened to this one yet, but I'm looking forward to the day that I do. And then the second one I have is an Elvis one. So we have Hound Dog on one side and Don't Be Cruel on the other. So I do have a lot of Elvis records. I showed them in the last video, but you know, they have like a lot of songs on them, and so it's like, you know what, if I'm ever in the mood to just listen to these two songs, then I can just stick this little record on. And I figured I'd probably be upset if I didn't leave without it, and I do want to collect more 7-inches, so I'm really happy with those two. So I've got a bunch of Christmas ones that I'm gonna go through real quick that I got from my grandma mostly. There is one I think that I bought myself at Value Village. So first I have the Little Drummer Boy. Haven't listened to this one, but it's got Jingle Bells on it, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. Like, it's got some good classic Christmas songs on there, and I really wanted to have like a good collection of Christmas albums. I also have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I didn't look at this too closely because I thought that it was just like the soundtrack to Rudolph, but it is the story of Rudolph with songs included. This is the one that I bought from Value Village. It's around the Christmas tree. I think this is one of my favorites that I have, just standard black. All of these are standard black. So my favorite song off of this one is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas by Judy Garland. And then we have Arthur Godfrey, All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth. Also have not listened to this one, but it is a standard black pressing. And then we have this one, which is 18 Christmas songs. Again, standard black pressing. You know what, these all just have like really classic Christmas songs on it, which is why I kept them. Again, this one is standard black pressing. I didn't even show you the front there. This one is the 100 Huntley Street Christmas album. Again, I'm sure it just has some very classic Christmas songs on there. Then we have Christmas Music for the Winter Season. Yeah, this one also has like Jingle Bells, White Christmas, Santa Claus Is Coming to Town. great classic Christmas songs. So those are all of the Christmas records that I've accumulated. So now we have some Abba albums. I'm not a huge Abba fan, but my grandma had a bunch of them, and so I decided to just keep them. So we have Voulez-Vous. I don't know which ones are on this one. Whichever record has Dancing Queen on it is a favorite, but that is not this one. So I actually don't know if I put this one on or not. I think I just listened to the one that had Dancing Queens on it. So I also have their greatest hits. Looks like that. Is this one with Dancing Queen? No, it's not. I do know like more Abba songs than just Dancing Queen, but I don't know what they're called off the top of my head. But I also have their greatest hits volume 2. Does this one have Dancing Queen? It does. It's the first song. So this one's probably my favorite just because it has Dancing Queen. So now we have a bunch of Olivia Newton-John albums, which is kind of sad and kind of weird because my grandma gave these to me literally the day before Olivia Newton-John died. Like, she came over, gave me these albums, and the next day she died, and it was so sad. And I was like on the fence of if I wanted to keep these at first because I haven't ever listened to her music. But then she died and I was like, oh no, I need to keep these. So we have this one, If You Love Me, Let Me Know. I still haven't listened to any of these, so I don't know if I actually like the music or not. Then we have Xanadu, which I think is a movie. Yeah, from the original motion picture soundtrack Xanadu. I think I listened to one song off of this, and I also have no idea what this movie is, but I have Xanadu. So then the next one is Have You Never Been Mellow? I really do need to sit down and listen to some of these. But yeah, that's the little Olivia Newton-John collection. And then I have a few albums from my mom that she had when she was a teenager, and I don't like any of them, but I decided to keep them for like nostalgia's sake of being like, these are my mom's records from when she was a teenager. It's kind of cool to see what she listened to. She has Duran Duran, Arena, recorded around the world, 1984. But it looks like that. I think I put this on and listened to a few songs. Do I remember any of them? Absolutely not. She also had Pseudo Echo, Love and Adventure. And then she also had 22 explosive hits. I actually don't know if this was hers or more so like my grandma's, but looks like that. And then the last of hers is Corey Hart. What is this album called? In the Box? I don't know what this is called. Boy in the Box. It's Boy in the Box. I have no idea what I'm saying right now, but it looks like this. I did pop this one time. I don't think I loved it, but again, keeping it for nostalgia's sake of being like, these are my mom's records. So I have 2 records left, and these are ones that I bought myself at some record stores. So the first one I'm very excited about, and it is Little Richard. I don't know what this record is called. Is it just called Little Richard? I have no idea. So I really love 50s music, and I want to get Chuck Berry, and I was looking for Chuck Berry, but I found this instead, and I also like Little Richard, so I grabbed it. Have not listened to it yet, so I need to do that. I only know a few of his songs, so I know Lucille. I think there's another one on here that I know, but I honestly have no idea what it was called, so I actually don't know. But I know that I like Lucille. So there's that. So I do need to listen to this one soon. I just haven't been like in the mood for 50s music, so I will listen to this one soon, but I'm very excited to have it because I only got it for like a few dollars, so that was a good price for me. And then we have Cruisin' 1956. So this is one that I bought blindly, like knew nothing about it, just kind of saw it was like $5, and I was like, you know what, I like 50s music, and even if I don't like the songs on here, like the cover is really cute. It's giving me like Archie vibes. So it looks like this, super cute. And I actually did listen to this the other day. The main reason I bought it is because I saw there was a Chuck Berry song on there, and I believe also a Little Richard song. What I did not realize about this, and I think it's actually really cool, is that I think it was like recorded from the radio station or something, because there's like the MC or DJ or whoever of the radio station talking in between the songs, introducing the songs. There are like some ads on there. I think there was like a root beer ad or something. Yeah, a Faygo root beer commercial. It's so funny. They're talking about shows that are playing coming up in the town of wherever this was recorded. I don't know. So it's kind of like having like a piece of like 1956 history, because like this was like a radio, I'm assuming. Like I think this was a real radio show. I don't know. Either way, I love it. I'm very excited about this. Oh, it says Detroit. So it's from Detroit. I just hit myself in the face. But I just think this is a cool record to have. Oh my goodness. So that was my entire updated record collection. I need to stop buying records because this is insane. I have no more room for records, so I need to slow my roll a little bit. But I'm sure I'll be buying more very, very soon. So I'm sure you guys will get another video from me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below and tell me your favorite album out of all of these. Or tell me about your recent vinyl purchases because I'd love to know. Subscribe if you have not yet already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!